Folks, welcome to Everything Pro Wrestling. Everything Pro Wrestling is a show by the fans, for the fans. I am your host, Conrad Cushman, and we are here today to give a preview and predictions for ROH Final Battle, NWA Into the Fire, and WWE TLC. All those events are happening this weekend, and I'm glad to have you guys joining me. I am live once again on YouTube. We have a new camera in the house. Hopefully the new camera looks good. Looking for some feedback from people in the chat, so let me know what you guys think of the new camera setup. Does it look good? How is it? And for those listening on the audio, I hope you guys are appreciating this happening. A couple big things that we have to go through. First and foremost, big shout out to everyone who's been very supportive of Everything Pro Wrestling. We are 15 subscribers away on YouTube from 1K. So if you guys haven't already, make sure you click that subscribe button and help out the channel. It really will do wonders. And once we get to 1K, we got to get that watch time up as well. So if you guys are watching the videos, do me a favor. Make sure you stick in till the end. Hashtag I watched it all. Whatever you guys want to say at the bottom. I know that a lot of people are saying that, but keep things going. We also have our PowerSlam.tv deal. If you guys use the code EPW Show, you guys can get 1 month free on me to watch the best indie wrestling going on today. And big shout out to people who do the graphic designs for me. Shout out to Rob. He does all the t-shirt designs. Sal Rex, who provided me with this great overlay. And PW Artistry, who's been helping me out as well with some overlays. Thank you guys so much. You guys are greatly appreciated. Make sure you check it out. We got some people in the chat. John L. Jackson, what's going on, brother? Derek Shelton, my co-host. We'll see him probably tomorrow for AEW review. What's up, D? Rob's in the chat. He told me to move that down just a bit, the image in the corner. So we've got ourselves a little image that I made here. The image is just going through the 3 pay-per-view events. So hopefully you guys can see that now. Just put it right next to me. Thank you. Gets cut off a bit in portrait. Thank you, Rob, for letting me know that. And now you guys can see how things are moving on the YouTube channel. Sean Harrington in the house. What's going on, guys? Make sure you guys click the bell if you guys haven't as well. We've got 3 big cards to run through. Lots of stuff happening, man. So if people are coming in here, live chat, whoever's in here now, make sure you tell people to hit that like button. Tell them to give it a stone cold stunner tonight. I don't know, man. Let me ask the live chat this question. What event out of these 3, between Ring of Honor Final Battle 2019, NWA Into the Fire, and WWE TLC, which event has you most interested right now? I'd be very interested to know what's going on. Flood, Chris Matthews, see you guys. Sean, glad to see you in here. It's very interesting what's going on in wrestling. I never thought that I would have to think about, I have to do 3 review shows, and I'm also giving away events happening this weekend on the Twitter page at EPW Shows, you guys can see down below. We're doing an event for Bobby Eaton. I know Warrior Wrestling has an event going on, and we even have one for Killer Cross. Like, there is so much happening in the world of wrestling that it makes it interesting. Mr. Floodwater says he is most interested in WWE TLC right now. Hard to say that. I'm disappointed in the lack of build currently for TLC. I don't agree with the model that's rumored that Vince McMahon cares about getting subscribers, so he's not as worried about building up a card right away. I still think you need that intrigue there, and you have people guessing. It makes it hard to do these types of shows too, because I know there's going to be matches added to this. Rob says he is most interested in Ring of Honor. He said for what happens with Villain Enterprises. Not bad, not bad. And I'm doing a giveaway for Ring of Honor and NWA, so make sure you guys enter those contests as well if you have not. Someone will be lucky to watch it for free on FITE.tv. I guess there's no better place than now to start with the previews. Let's start running through Ring of Honor Final Battle 2019. And the fallout with the management and talent. Ring of Honor has been in some big trouble lately, so they gotta do better, man. That's all I can tell them. So Ring of Honor Final Battle 2019, it's taking place in Baltimore, Maryland, which is odd because usually these shows are in New York City, Hammerstein Ballroom. They're doing something big, and this time it feels kind of like, okay, they went to their hometown, but Ring of Honor's ticket sales haven't been doing as well either. And I think that's all across the board in pro wrestling, but a lot of people like to draw attention to certain companies when it's happening to them. I think we could ease up on that right now. I just think there's a lot of wrestling to offer, and you can't go to every show. And not even that, but people want a better live experience, like AEW's Cody Rhodes, EVP Cody Rhodes, excuse me, brought up in an interview he just did. And I thought it was kind of true. People want their events to mean something, so you have to make sure that every time you go somewhere, it's special. And I think that's something that people are just going to have to be on the lookout for. Let us get into the first match. Let's talk about the pre-show. We have kind of a reuniting, but in a different way, of the All Night Express. We are going to have Rhett Titus versus Kenny King in this match. I've met both of these gentlemen. They are tremendous. Rhett Titus, very cool dude. I think he thought I was joking when I said I was a wrestling fan, and I knew who he was. And then he was surprised when I was like, no, man, I've seen a bunch of your matches. I started naming them. And even the ones when he was here, and he was like, oh, okay, this dude really is a fan. He was like, thanks, dude. Yeah, that was cool. And Kenny King, he recently liked my tweet. Me and Kenny King got into it probably back in, I want to say it was 2010, when the All Night Express were having a match. And me and Rob actually in the chat were talking about the Buffalo Bills. And Kenny King looked over at us and was like, the Buffalo Bills suck, which they did at the time. And you need to be paying attention to me. And I kind of tweeted that at him, and he gave me a like on it. So shout out to Kenny King. But for this one, easily, I'm going with Kenny King for the win here. I think Kenny King has a big upside, and he's someone that could fit into whatever spot you need him to at the drop of a dime. So hopefully everything works out here. But I'm going with Kenny King for my prediction in this one. Let me see here. Sorry to interrupt, but where is the giveaway? That is on my Twitter page, Sean, at EPW Show, as you can see underneath me here in the overlay. Is Kenny King still heel? As far as I know, yes, Kenny King is still a heel. And King deserves more. I'm surprised he hasn't won the belt. He could. Like I said, this could be a setup. He could fit into the television, the world title scene, the tag title scene. All you have to do is set Kenny King up. So he's kind of an all-around player for them who can do whatever. Let's get into the main card here. Or no, I think this is pre-show too, if I'm not mistaken. We got another match. Dalton Castle and Joe Hendry versus Silas Young and Josh Woods. Now, Dalton Castle and Joe Hendry have been feuding with each other. I don't know what sparked this tag team because I have not been watching weekly Ring of Honor television. There is no story to tell me what's going on. I didn't even see any previews because I tried to get some background information on some of these matches that I wasn't familiar with. Nothing out there. So I'm trying to provide you the best Ring of Honor content that I can with the amount of time allotted for me to watch pro wrestling. Dalton Castle, Joe Hendry, I think their feud's going to continue. We see a possible meltdown in this match. I know we're going to get an awesome Joe Hendry song like we always do. Silas Young and Josh Woods, to me, seem like they are going to get the victory here. They're the more established tag team. I know they showed some rumblings between them with that last Battle Royal, but I think everything's fine with that. I think that was just for the show. So give me Silas Young with the Tom Selleck mustache and Josh Woods for the win. Now, the next match I went back and forth on a lot. The next match is Angelina Love. Some of you may remember her from TNA. She is a talent that worked in my area a lot. And we have Maria Manic, a.k.a. Maneater. So, what gives here? A lot of things are going through my mind. Will Ring of Honor try to sign a Teddy Hart? I know Teddy and Ring of Honor had an issue a long time ago. If you guys have never seen Teddy Hart jump off the steel cage, and he just did that on his own, that was not planned or part of the show, and that ultimately led to his release, perhaps. But there's new management in there now. Why not give Teddy Hart another chance? That's the one side of things. But another side is, could Teddy Hart and Maria Manic be out? Maybe they're going to try and do something else. I don't know. I don't know. Very, very weird as far as what they're doing here with this. I'm going with Angelina Love for the victory here. Angelina Love makes the most sense in my opinion, and she is, in my opinion, the person who can do the most damage for the women's division. But I don't know if they're going to use her. I've heard rumors about her contract and stuff. Is it up? Is it not? I don't know. Rob has said that Teddy Hart has proven himself unreliable time and time again, shaking my head. I thought he had everything together in MLW. I don't know what's going on or what the issues are. I think it's something deeper than what we can see. But who knows? Who knows? So I'm going to go with Angelina Love for the victory. I think she gets help from her squad, the Allure, for the victory. Next up, we've got a match, and there's a lot of beef in this match. You got Jeff Cobb versus Dan Maff. This is going to be a heavy hitter match. Who do you predict to win this? I think you can go either way with this one, but I'm going to go with Jeff Cobb. Jeff Cobb is in desperate need of some big victories here, and I know he's part of the Ring of Honor roster, but I'd like to see Jeff Cobb in a more elevated role. I think that he's someone who's been a player who's moved around, helped a lot of people put on great matches on weekly television programming, and at the same time, he is someone who you could put into a pay-per-view match, whether it's the main event or the opening match, and Jeff Cobb delivers. Give Jeff Cobb the win here. Why not? He is someone who always shows up, and one of my favorites, so I'm going with Jeff Cobb on this one. Interesting matchup coming up here next. We've got Marty Scurll and Flip Gordon, part of Villain Enterprises. I should say the mercenary. Flip Gordon versus Bandido and Flamita. Now, you got a lot of rumors circulating. We have to address them. We have to bring them up. Marty Scurll is rumored to be out of his AEW contract. I'm sure maybe he signed some type of extension. Maybe the rumors are wrong because they are known to do that. And maybe Marty has already signed a deal with Ring of Honor. Possibly. Could happen. I'm just throwing something crazy out there. Or Marty has already extended his contract and this is his last show. We don't know what we're going to get from Villain Enterprises. It should be very interesting. You could see so many different things happen with this. And what is up, Donnie? I see you in the chat. Hopefully we see you for some of these shows, brother. Who wins this match? I think Bandido and Flamita are the victors in this. This could lead to Flip Gordon taking over Villain Enterprises if they wanted to. But then you have to ask yourself this. Are the rumors true that Joey Mercury tweeted out about Brody King? Is Brody King on his way out? Is there even going to be a Villain Enterprises for this? Where does everybody go after this? Lots of questions, few answers. And this show is going to be what tells you what is happening. So you're going to want to make sure you're checking this out on Friday. ROH contract. Did I say the wrong thing? ROH contract. Let me get back into this. My prediction, though, for where Marty ends up, I think Marty goes to AEW. It seems like a layup of an answer. There's some already like built-in stuff for him to do. But it wouldn't surprise me if we see him in NXT. I would not be surprised. Wherever Marty goes, he is the hottest free agent in pro wrestling right now. And he's basically going to name his price and do what he wants. So best of luck to him. If this is his last show, I'll be sad to see Marty go. I really wish he would have got that Ring of Honor World title run. I really felt he deserved it at the G1 Supercard show, but he didn't get it. Speaking of the G1 Supercard show and who got the title run, Matt Taven is taking on Vincent, his former protege in the Kingdom. Matt Taven was recently turned on by Vinny, and this has been a really big beef going on between these two. I think there's a story here to tell. The question is, how long do you tell that story, and what way do you go about it? Rob, don't make me laugh with your quotes in the chat. He said, WTF is AEW. If you guys have not seen that episode where Villain Enterprises are looking for their fourth member, that's where that's from. Freaking hilarious. I give the win to Matt Taven here. I know that's going to shock some people, Donnie in the chat, I know he's your favorite. But I think Matt Taven gets the victory here. Basically, for the reason of he beats his former protege, and then after the match, I think we're going to see Vinny give him an attack, give him a little bit of a beat down, put the hurt on him, and this leads to more matches to continue the feud. I think it would be too obvious for Vinny to get the win over Matt Taven. And Matt Taven's a former world champion, so you need to show him some love and respect in this one. That's the way I'm going about this. Next up, we have what I believe is a street fight between Marc Haskins versus Bully Ray. Now, this feud's been going on for quite some time. Bully Ray has disrespected Marc Haskins. I don't know if that was his wife or girlfriend who was ringside last time. Bully Ray is a bastard in Ring of Honor. He is someone you are not supposed to like. He is a bully. It's in his name. And Bully Ray is someone who is just trying to pique the interest of fans with who he is and what he can do. And I like Bully Ray in these small doses, in these feuds, because he really can help elevate talent, and I think at the same time he's teaching them something. I'd like to see Bully Ray get more involved behind the scenes. I don't know how much input he has, or if he's just someone that they look at as a veteran and, oh, we can trust Bully. But I want to see him give more. In this one, I think Marc Haskins has to get the win here. I think that this will be the end of this feud. I see Marc Haskins doing some crazy things here to get the victory over Bully Ray, and Bully Ray will then have to find someone new to pick on and bully going forward after this street fight. We get to the title matches now, and the title matches have some very, very interesting things going on with them. So for the Ring of Honor tag team titles, we have the Briscoes, who are the tag champions right now, versus Jay Lethal and Jonathan Gresham. Lethal and Gresham, number one, as a team, I actually like this tag team pairing. I feel like Jay Lethal has done all he can in the main event scene, even elevating talent. What more is there for Jay Lethal to do? He has been Mr. Ring of Honor, in my opinion. Jay Lethal has busted his ass, done everything that he needs to do. I can't complain about him. Jonathan Gresham is someone who I think is on the rise. And to me, I've always said this, and I mean this with the utmost respect. I feel like if you combine Daniel Bryan and Jay Lethal, it is Jonathan Gresham. And he is someone who can do the mat wrestling. He can hang in there with Zack Sabre Jr. He is someone who can go in there and stretch the hell out of anyone he's in the ring with. Lethal is, like I said, Mr. Ring of Honor. But if you had to give Mr. Ring of Honor to a tag team, it's the Briscoes. The Briscoes have been with Ring of Honor since day one. Ever since I've been watching, the Briscoes have been there. They've always, sometimes they went their separate ways. They're trying to get some singles gold, but they've always come together for a good tag team brawl, and I love that about the Briscoes. This one I think could be a real fight if they wanted to, but I think you show off that the Briscoes can still wrestle. They can still go. This will be a fun match. I think in this match, though, the Briscoes are going to retain the tag titles. I don't know how well Lethal is. I know he had an arm injury recently. Is Jay Lethal really ready to go? Can he do it every single night? Is his arm still hurt? And Jonathan Gresham was teasing a lot of heel tendencies recently. Could we see an implosion here? There's many different things you can do. Yes, I did, Rob. Rob reminded me that I did call them teaming up a few months ago. Absolutely. It was the best move for Lethal. That's why I said that. But Briscoes for the win here all the way. Reach for the sky, boy. You can't go against the Briscoes in this one. I don't think that there's a team ready to take the tag titles off of them quite yet. It'll be a fun match. Fun match here. Ring of Honor television title. Shane Taylor, the current champion, versus Ryu Lee. That is the former Dragon Lee. He has changed his name to Ryu Lee. So for all my Street Fighter fans out there, Ryu means dragon. So this should be really, really good. I want to see how the two, with their contrasting styles, will interact with each other. But we got to go back to Joey Mercury once again. Joey Mercury leaked all this information, and part of it came down to Shane Taylor. So I brought up how Brody King wouldn't be re-signed. Lumped in right next to him was Shane Taylor. Shane Taylor is someone who has busted himself recently to get into this spot. He has earned the Ring of Honor Television Championship, and I just don't understand how Ring of Honor could not see the potential that we all see when you're looking at a Shane Taylor. He is someone who I felt like maybe some people overlook him because he at one point did team with Keith Lee. And look at where Keith Lee is right now in NXT. He is competing for the #1 contendership for the NXT title. He's moved on. He's done more things. And you look at Shane Taylor. Shane Taylor has moved into the Ring of Honor TV title position. What could go wrong here for Shane Taylor? I think he just needs to continue to be booked strongly. And he's someone that you can move up the card with. He can hang with anyone he's been in there with. I just don't see why you would consider giving him away. None of it makes sense to me. Downey put Street Fighter V with the fire around it. Shane Taylor is severely underrated, Chris Matthews said. I agree, Chris. I think Shane Taylor is really good. I know a lot of people like to poke fun at his weight, but the big man can move. The big man can go in there and he can work. Give him a shot, man. As much as I want to see Shane Taylor win this, I got to go with Ryu Lee for the win here. I feel like they're going to crown a new champion. And if everything comes to fruition, like Rob was bringing up before, the talent versus the management, Ring of Honor really needs to figure out what their plan is for 2020. After this show, these talks need to probably be happening right now. Like, what are the plans going forward for 2020? Because if you're keeping Shane Taylor, you need to start making a play for him now, because he can't be happy with the rumors he saw. Because everything, if he knows it's true, he knows it's true. I don't see why Joey Mercury would lie. What does he have to gain from this? I doubt any company wants to touch him right now because he leaked out all that stuff. Tough to say. Ryu Lee for the victory, in my opinion. And let's talk about the Ring of Honor's main event for Final Battle. It is going to be Roosh, the current Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Champion, versus PCO. That man is not human. This is going to be a brawl, I think, in this one. Roosh and PCO are two different kind of cats, two different kind of breeds when it comes to professional wrestling. What are you going to do for these guys? Let's look at PCO first, the challenger. PCO is 51 years old, people. 51. This dude is a monster. He is a beast. And he has been delivering. I never thought that I would see PCO in this position. If you told me Jean-Pierre Lafitte, if you told me one of the Quebecers was going to be in the main event of Ring of Honor in 2019, I would have laughed and said, you're crazy, bro. Oh, man. I just don't know, man. I just don't know. PCO is just crazy. The moonsaults to the floor. No one being there. Crashing through tables. Ripping up his eye. Chest being chopped until they're bloody. PCO has put in that work, and on one hand I ask, why not give PCO the title? But then, on the other hand, you got Roosh. Roosh is somebody who WWE was really trying to get, and rumor has it, one of his friends, Mr. Almas, told him, no, do not go to the WWE. It's not a good place right now. Don't sign there. And Ring of Honor came in, swooped in, picked up the pieces. They signed him and Bandido. Not a bad move. I was happy with it. That was probably one of the last exciting things that I heard from them. And who wins this? I love PCO. I really do. But I think Roosh is the guy that you have to keep your focus on and make sure that you keep the championship on him. Roosh needs to be booked strong. He needs to be someone who you can rely on, someone that you can put into the bigger picture and say, you know what? I trust this dude. This Final Battle show needs to convey where Ring of Honor is going forward. That's why I said these talks of where they want to go in 2020 need to be happening now. You need to figure out how we can keep Roosh on the payroll. How do we keep Bandido here? Flamita. The Briscoes. You don't want anybody leaving right now. And there's kind of a little war going on for talent. Guys are able to name their prices. There's other companies out there talking to them. So Ring of Honor, if you got to pony up some money, if you have to do a little bit more, you got to figure out a way to sign these guys. I listened to a great conversation with my man JPQ and Super Kicking It with Kelsey. They talked about Ring of Honor, and they had some great suggestions for Joe Koff and his management team on what they can do, even involving some shakeups and things. This is something that we're going to have to want to see, and hopefully we get that going forward. So Ring of Honor, I wish you the best of luck, and I will be watching on Friday, Ring of Honor Final Battle 2019. So, with that being said, guys, we're going to jump into the next one here, and we're going to get into NWA Into the Fire. Into the Fire! Love hearing that theme every week. It's so 80s, and it's great. NWA does low budget right. Like, you could tell that when I first saw the Into the Fire name, I saw the little emoji graphic of, like, fire happening. I was like, what is this, dude? Like, how did we get here, and how did we see this? Very much so worth it, though. I can see a lot of good things coming from this pay-per-view. To me, this will tell the story of what the NWA wants to do going forward, and I think they need to deliver. They have a small card, something that's manageable, and we can do something with this. So, NWA Into the Fire, we found out first that Stu Bennett, a.k.a. Wade Barrett, Bad News Barrett, will be joining the commentary team. So it looks like he's replacing Jim Cornette. I'm not getting into all the Cornette stuff. He shouldn't have said what he said. I'm more offended by the bad joke that you told. But in my heart of hearts, too, though, I think Cornette thought it was harmless, but he screwed up. All right, he messed up big time. And I know his fans are going to probably be in the chats and tweeting about it. It is what it is, folks. This is what we have to deal with now. And I'm excited to hear Stu Bennett on commentary. I want to see what he brings to the table for the NWA. I'm kind of sad that he's not wrestling. I wonder if he just, like, gave up on the professional wrestling aspect of it. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe it's a lead into that he's going to do that. Because his last role in Lucha Underground, spoiler alert if you guys haven't watched it, give you a second to pause it. Skip ahead for about, I don't know, we'll say 10 seconds, 30 seconds. He was on Lucha Underground the last season as the boss who's been in the limousine who they've been talking to the whole time. We haven't seen him in a wrestling role since then. I can't think of the last time he's wrestled besides WWE. Maybe someone else knows. Maybe he did some work for What Culture when they had their promotion. But we'll see what happens here. Let's get into the first match. I think the match you have to open up with here is Eli Drake versus Ken Anderson. Eli Drake and Ken Anderson, two of the guys with the biggest mouths, I would say, on the NWA roster. And that's what this is all about, dummy. These guys can both talk, man. Everybody knows Eli Drake with the dummy line, and he's Eli Drake. And you even have Mr. Anderson, Ken Anderson, comes out, Mr. Anderson. Great pickups, in my opinion, by both of these companies. You have two guys who can still work, and they have something to offer. And Eli Drake's a future talent, but Ken Anderson is someone who has something to offer this business still. I know he was out training Cal Hero out in Milwaukee. He's done a great job with that. Him, Al Snow, a bunch of people. Ken Anderson is someone who I'm glad to see back in professional wrestling. I'll leave it at that. Who wins this match? Who needs the win? Like I said, Eli Drake's the future star. I think Eli Drake gets the win here, and he starts nudging his way towards the national title or the NWA world title. I think he can be fit in and possibly be the number one contender. Possibly be the number one contender for the next pay-per-view. Just putting it in there, my little 2 cents. So Eli Drake for the win in that one. We have a women's tag team match that's up next for this show. We have Allison Kay, who is the current NWA Women's Champion. I love the belt, got that old school look with her picture in it. And she's teaming with Ashley Box to take on two of the three here. So we don't know who the two are just yet. But we have Melina. That's right, Melina from the WWE is in NWA. We have Thunder Rosa, who is the former Cobra Moon from Lucha Underground, if you guys don't know. And Marty Bell from TNA Impact Wrestling days. I don't think Melina gets into the ring just yet. I don't know why. So I don't get it, man. I don't get the lumping of these three together. Melina's promos have been kind of with her sit down interview. NWA had that one really bad week where they did kind of like a recap show where they just put stuff together and had interviews and things. I didn't think that show worked out too well, but that was also around the time of controversy and everything else. So what do we do here? What do we call this one? I think whoever the combination is, I think Thunder Rosa has to be in this. She is probably one of the rocks of the women's division, and I can see her easily being a future champion. I'm giving the win to Thunder Rosa, and I think Marty Bell will be her partner. So I'm going to give the win to them as a tag team, and Melina will be part of the reason why they get the victory. And there's a story to tell with Melina and Allison Kay in the future. So that is my prediction for that match. Next up, we've got everyone's favorite live chat. I'm going to have to write this in here for you guys. The question mark will be taking on Trevor Murdoch. The question mark is over. They have been shooting scenes with this dude going into elevators everywhere, walking around just in casual everyday life, wearing a mask, throwing up the horns that he hits you with in the throat and takes you down. I can't think of the name of his finisher right now, but the question mark is over, like Rover. And at the same time, another guy who I've been very impressed with, a former WWE talent once again, Trevor Murdoch. Trevor Murdoch is someone who doesn't look like a wrestler. Not at all. Doesn't need to either. Because Trevor Murdoch is someone who looks like if you piss him off, he might whip your ass. Trevor Murdoch is a big dude. He doesn't play games. And when he gets into the ring, the man can work and he can move. This should be a really good match. Trevor Murdoch's storyline is he is fighting for an NWA contract. This could play into it, but I think right now, NWA's got to play the hot hand. They need people to tune into this. They've got some really good pay-per-view numbers, according to Lagana on Twitter. How do they do it? Let the question mark win, man. Question mark gets the best and loudest reactions in that studio taping environment. He is over. People absolutely love him. Let's see here. Sean Harrington is putting in his 2 cents. He says that I'm a little disappointed with the main event I'm a little disappointed with this card outside of the main event. Everything else just comes off as a TV match. Women's title match should have happened here. The tag titles should have been a 4-way. Ooh, interesting. Okay. Connor, what's going on, brother? Good to see you in here, Connor. Trevor Murdoch gets the win here. I think this will play more so into the story that you want to tell with Trevor Murdoch trying to get his contract. Play the hot hand. Let question mark go over. Eventually, will he get unmasked? Part of the story that you'll have to wait and see. All right. Let's get into the tag team title match. This is one I have some interesting thoughts on. So for the NWA tag titles, we have the team of the Rock and Roll Express. And I did not make a mistake. Ricky Morton and Robert Gibson, if you're an old school wrestling fan, they were old when I was a kid. And these dudes are old now, but they are still going into the ring and kicking ass. And I love their win with the celebration. It felt weird to see Cornette in there because he's always feuded with them, but you can tell Cornette has so much respect for them. So cool little moment for all of them involved when they won the tag titles. Really cool to see the Rock and Roll Express be the tag champs. Now, they're taking on the Wild Cards. That's Tom Latimer, the former Brams, and Royce Isaacs. Now, they lost the belts to them, but how is this all going to play out? If you guys remember, during one of the interviews taking place, Tom Latimer was asked about Camille and what his relationship is with Camille. I think that this is the perfect time to introduce some more holes into this storyline. Why not have it be that the Rock and Roll Express have the win once again in this match, but Camille comes out and helps Tom Latimer get the victory for his team and the Wild Cards regain the tag titles. That is my prediction. I think that Camille and Tom, there's something more there, because I think the dude could be a main event player. That's my opinion on it. But let's see what we got here. Question mark with the win for and the national title. Maybe one day, Sean. Rob said the wild card is going to beat their asses into a retirement home. Come on, Rob. Rock and roll never dies, brother. Never dies. That's what I'd like to see, though. Does Camille get involved in this? Up to you, but I see some reason to introduce her into this match. And that wouldn't be the only time we would see her tonight in my prediction. So, next up, we have the NWA National title being defended in a three-way dance with Colt Cabana, Erin Stephens, and Ricky Starks. Interesting three. Now, Colt Cabana has been someone who's been bounced around. He's a Ring of Honor commentator as well, but wrestles for the NWA. And we have Erin Stephens, who is the former Damien Sandow. He's doing a gimmick where he is a Hollywood person, but he does like these D-list movies. And he gets great heat from the crowd as well. I don't know why they hate him so much, what he's done. I personally believe it's the nude color tights. Like, come on, bro. Change your tights, man. Nobody wants to see all of the berries and sticks, bro. Can't have that coming out. But Ricky Starks is someone who I can see as a star too. Ricky Starks has a lot to offer. Really good on the microphone, but all three of these guys are. Whether it's comedy and wrestling, whatever they want to add to this, I think you could have some fun in this match, but you can't go too crazy with the fun. Colt Boom Boom Cabana, I don't think he needs this title. He doesn't need to be the national champion. He held it before the NWA started. He dropped it to James Storm for a short period of time, but then he regained it back. Don't see him walking out with this. And Ricky Starks is someone who they've really put up as the future for NWA. What do I think happens here? I think Erin Stephens picks up the victory. I know, crazy, but I think you give him the win here. He becomes the NWA National Champion, and this will lead to a feud between him and Ricky Starks that can go on for the long term and a match that you can get at the next pay-per-view. Just all how you want to get there and what the storylines are going to be. Let's see here. Rob says Stephens deserves to lose until he changes them flesh-colored tights, damn it. See, I'm not the only one who thinks that, man. Gotta change the tights up, bro. Can't have that. And we're on to the main event, guys. So this is a 6-match card, as far as I know. I don't know if there's a pre-show for this. It hasn't really been said. FITE TV will be showing this event. Hopefully you guys got it. If not, like I said, enter the contest that I have going on my Twitter page. It's on the Everything Pro Wrestling Facebook group. You guys can find it. You just got to look for it. I have a contest going. All you have to do is follow the directions and you'll be entered in to win. I'll be doing the drawing very soon for it. So make sure you guys get in on that. So before the event happens, you'll know if you won. NWA title match, 2 out of 3 falls. Nick Aldis versus the Cowboy, James Storm. This is for the 10 pounds of gold, man. This is for the title that we've all been watching since we were younger. This is a very historic moment. Let me say this. Nick Aldis has carried himself with pride. He always brings up the Harley races, the Ric Flairs, Dusty Rhodes. Nick Aldis may go into that category as someone who is a great champion. Nick Aldis has shown up and always showed out when it's time for him to perform in these matches, whether it's against Marty Scurll, Cody Rhodes, James Storm. It doesn't matter who you put him in there with. Nick Aldis is one of the best, and we really need to give him more credit, in my opinion, for his work. Let me see here. Sean Harrington comes in with a wild prediction. Oh, we're going to get to that because you have one similar to me. So, in this match, one of the things that was brought up recently were each guy gets to pick a referee for the 2 out of 3 falls. I don't know what happens if it goes to a 3rd fall. If somebody knows, we'll have to see. But Sean and Rob in the chat appear to be having the same thought process as me. So, Storm has picked Brian Hebner. Brian Hebner is a great referee. I think he's the head official of the NWA too, is the way he put it. As his referee, he's going to be someone who calls it straight down the middle. One of the top referees in the business. Not mad at it. Nick Aldis has picked Tim Storm. Now, the storyline with Tim Storm is that Tim Storm challenged for the NWA Championship, had a great match with Nick Aldis. Not something that's like pretty and you're going to see all these great moves, but just a good back and forth brawl that I really enjoyed. What do you do in this? What happens in this match? Tim Storm loses the match, and the stipulation was he cannot challenge for the NWA Championship ever again. Sounds familiar, right? So he has pushed himself out of this, but we've seen, little videos of Nick Aldis and Camille being interviewed why she doesn't speak, and then there's Tim Storm in the background talking to Nick Aldis over by the ringside area. What does he have on him? What is the storyline? The little intrigue things like that make me ask more questions, so now I'm interested in this. Does Tim Storm do the right thing? I think he's such a lovable babyface that you cannot flush that down the toilet for a heel turn here. Something has to happen to where we see Storm's true colors in this match, though. And I don't know, man. It's going to be very interesting. I think Tim Storm shows that he's a babyface, turns on Nick Aldis, and we get 2 split falls here. So I'm going to say Aldis gets the first one, James Storm gets the second one, depending on how it happens. James Storm wins the fall with Tim Storm involved in it. Maybe a little family history with those names. 2 Storms in a match. And who's the referee for the third fall? Not Lance Storm, but I think it'll be Camille. Camille has been going through issues kind of with Nick Aldis. They've done the storyline where she does not speak. I'm going to say this. I think that Camille will speak on after this match, and I think Camille makes sure her guy wins the championship at the end of the night, and that's Nick Aldis. But if you do what I said earlier in the night with Camille helping Tom Latimer, that leads to more questions than answers. What is her relationship with him now? And maybe she doesn't speak on that once again. Then she goes right back to silence again on regular television. You could do a lot of things with this. But Nick Aldis, in my opinion, retains the NWA Championship and continues moving forward as he looks for his next challenger. Hopefully you guys have your predictions as far as that goes. And honestly, this is the card I'm looking most forward to out of all of them. I want to see what they do here. I'm interested in the Marty stuff, but I want to see how NWA puts this all together and where they're going to go in the future. As far as their brand, what they're going to be able to do on YouTube. Do they keep people interested in this? Do the YouTube numbers get lower after this? Lots and lots of different things that they can do. So hopefully you guys get the opportunity to join in with the NWA show Into the Fire. Like I said, that and Ring of Honor Final Battle up on the Twitter page. You guys can enter in for the opportunity to win it for free. I have 1 code for each. So take your chance. Check it out, folks. Let me know. With that being said, we're going to get into the last part of the predictions here. And we got to talk WWE TLC. Not a lot going on in the land of WWE. Me and Derek were having a conversation about this last night as far as what has been going on in the WWE land. And you guys know, last night we found out Seth Rollins did the big heel turn, joining up with AOP. Don't know what it's going to be. Seth tried to cut this promo basically blaming the fans for everything. He tried. We'll see. I'm glad he's a heel. We'll have to see what happens going forward. Don't sound so somber. We'll have to see what happens with it. But me and Derek are disappointed in the buildup of this card. I think we found out about, what was this? 1, 2, 3 of the 6 matches last night. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous in my opinion. You cannot build a card like that. Live chat, I have to ask you guys this. Well, before I start going on my little tangent. Do you like or agree with the whole, they're looking for subscribers now, so it doesn't matter when you build up the WWE pay-per-view card. Or whatever you want to call it, the network events card. Boo Seth. Donnie, you're mean. Derek wrote that this is trash. He does not like it at all. I'm with Derek on this one. Why on earth are we not building these cards up better? Imagine if you put some more focus, time, and promotion in behind these things. I get it. We could have guessed half these matches. But why not promote them? Why not have the Kabuki Warriors not touch Charlotte and Becky in handicap matches for the last 2 weeks? Why? It's just too much for me, man. I'm disappointed in it. I really want to see a better card. And honestly, this card is missing some people as well. But there's still Friday Night SmackDown, and there's still time to add some people into this. I could honestly see some kickoff matches being added in. Where are the War Raiders? What are they going to do with this? Let's look here. Donnie says that he agrees with Derek, that he thinks that this is a trash build-up for the pay-per-view. Not mad, bro. Not mad. Let's get into the TLC card as we have it here, because there's 6 matches, and I know I don't want to keep you guys all night, especially after we watched AEW Dark before this. Well, at least I did. Excellent main event, too, by the way. WWE TLC. First match I want to talk about. Let's talk about Aleister Black versus Buddy Murphy. This is going to probably be potential stealer of the night for what has my attention. Buddy Murphy is so damn good, and I wanted to see him on TV, but you've done some weird stuff with this character, man. Why was Buddy Murphy at one point a heel? He turned babyface kind of after his match with Roman, and now he's back to being a heel again on Raw. I feel like people are just jumping through hoops, and maybe some of you guys don't like the heel-face dynamic, but I still think that you need to kind of lean towards one way for a little bit. Buddy Murphy's just kind of doing whatever he wants. He answered Aleister Black's, who's going to knock on my door? Aleister Black's been cutting these promos for months, it feels like. He went away, he came back, he did the exact same thing he did before. Derek's calling this to be the best match of the night. That is a bold prediction, good sir. I think it could be sleeper match of the night. I don't know about best, but we'll see. Maybe you're right. Sean said, I expect more matches announced on Backstage, which no one watches. Donnie says, the only match I actually care about is this match. Interesting. Who do you give the win to here, though? Who's the bigger superstar between Buddy Murphy and Aleister Black? I love Buddy Murphy. Buddy Murphy's my guy. Murphy's Law is a great finisher, especially if you're making a call in one of the WWE 2K games. Not 2K20, though, but any other game besides that. I think Aleister Black gets the win here. He is the guy who is the money person that you got to put your money into. I can see him being a main event talent for these guys. They need more than 10 minutes for this match. I agree with that too, Sean. Time must be given to them so that they can deliver. And I think that Buddy Murphy's going to fall... I was going to say fall back. I should have said fade to black. I missed a great opportunity to transition that there. Buddy Murphy's going to fade to black at one point in this match. He's getting the kick to the face, and I predict Aleister Black for the victory here. Next, we're going to put into... Derek says black. Chris Matthews says black. I think most of the people are on board with him being a main eventer. Let's get to the next match, though. Bray Wyatt versus The Miz. I don't believe this is for the Universal title, nor should it be with Miz's recent loss record, especially to Shane McMahon and everything else that was happening to him. This match is Miz more so defending like the honor of Daniel Bryan. Whatever. I feel like we're not going to get The Fiend in this. We're going to get Bray Wyatt as the character that he plays on the Firefly Funhouse. And in this, I think that Bray Wyatt destroys The Miz. No reason not to. Miz is in a very bad place right now, and I don't know if they're trying to set up him and Daniel Bryan as a tag team, maybe Miz heel turn. I don't know what they're doing with him, but I'm kind of trying to engage what's the plan with Miz here. Miz is taking the L, though, to Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt needs to be booked strongly for months still right now. He's a great character, and that's something you don't want to mess up, especially when you're selling that replica title handcrafted by Savini. Like, bro, no. With all the time, effort, and money put into those replica belts for, what is it, $6,500? Bro, crazy. Rob, I'm not even repeating that on here. Stupid. So Bray Wyatt gets the victory here. Tom Savini's been making his masks, the belts, and everything else. Dude, he's one of the greatest people involved in the horror film genre. Nothing wrong with it here. I don't know if we see The Fiend. Maybe we get an appearance from him. I don't know if they even explain what happens to Daniel Bryan quite yet. I think you saved that for TV. But not a bad move. Let's get into another match. Now, this storyline has been awful. Oh, yes, and no red lights, Donnie. 100%. Stop the red light shit, WWE. It's bad. It's just bad. Let's get into the tables match that we have on this card. Rusev versus Bobby Lashley. It is painstaking to even talk about this storyline. Lana has been overacting in this. I don't know if she's just showing that she's not interested in this. Rusev being a part of this. This is just not believable at all between the two of them. And I don't know what the hell is the storyline supposed to be for. This feels like some Jerry Springer shit that I don't want to see. Tables match. Who gets the victory here? Rusev put Bobby Lashley through the table, so we're going to follow the old logic of Bobby Lashley gets the win. But I think that this feud is going to continue. Rumor has it that the old man loves it. He loves this storyline, and he's very into it and thinks it's funny. I think this goes until the Rumble at least. Whether it be on television, something else. They end up having Lashley get the win here by something with Lana. I'm really hoping that they find a way to reunite Rusev and Lana. Maybe they're looking for that Macho Man Miss Elizabeth moment, and they're just trying to force create it. I don't know. Let me see here. Sean Harrington wrote, Black's promo made no sense. I want someone to knock on the door, pick a fight, but then when somebody actually does, he complains about it. Derek left a not so nice comment about Bobby Lashley that I will not repeat. Miz will lose by DQ. Can we just put this storyline to bed? Chris Matthews says, I hate everything about it. 100%, Chris. It's not good, but I think it continues. After their divorce segment, just bad. Lashley gets the win. SmackDown Tag Team titles. We've got the New Day, Kofi Kingston and Big E defending against the Revival. So, what do we end up doing here with this? The New Day has been put in a prominent position to do some things here. And I feel like they want to keep Kofi strong. I feel like whatever they had planned for Kofi got messed up upon Xavier Woods going out with the injury. So now they're going to sit tight with the tag titles. And New Day's a great tag team. I don't think they get mentioned enough in this whole... These are great tag teams. The New Day are really, really good. And they deliver in all their matches. How do we do this, though, man? I feel like the Revival just had the belts. No need to put them back on them. Honestly, I thought that Ali and Shorty G, hate that name, Chad Gable, I thought they were going to be the guys to get the title shot here just to do something different. But we get the Revival. I think the Revival don't win this. I think WWE is still playing this cat and mouse game with the Revival because the Revival have been teasing AEW stuff, teasing... doing Young Bucks poses. Are they creatively satisfied? Are they already out the door to AEW? Nobody knows. Nobody knows what they're going to do with the Revival, but I know that they're a damn good tag team, and they need to figure out how to keep them, but I don't think with the games that they're playing at this point that they want to put the titles on them again. So for now, I can see the Revival taking a step back from the tag title scene and just be used to put on some good matches. So New Day for the victory here. New Day's podcast is fantastic. Absolutely. Put it right in your playlist behind this one. Revival takes the L and moves on, Derek says. And he put those 3 letters in there that we were just talking about, AEW. So, next up we have a TLC match. We have King King Baron Corbin versus the big dog, Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns, the man who was forced to eat dog food at the result of Dolph Ziggler, Baron Corbin beatdown. Rumor has it that Bobby Roode was suspended for a wellness violation. I have not seen that on the WWE website. Maybe it did pop up and I missed it today. I have not been caught up on all the wrestling news, but him and supposedly Primo Cologne were suspended for the first violation of it, which is 30 days. We'll have to wait and see if that's true. King Corbin, what happens here with him? I feel like King Corbin and all of his merry men would try to come out and do something. So I feel that they're going to get their comeuppance against Roman Reigns. I can see Roman getting the victory here. I know that everybody's like, well, it's a pay-per-view and Roman doesn't need the win. Roman is being built up. And I'm calling it now, guys. You're getting a prediction early. In my mind, unless something changes in between this time, I think Roman Reigns is going to win the Royal Rumble this year in 2020. Roman Reigns is my pick to win because everybody who is I'm going to take something from OTRS Central here, a Breakfast Club member, one of the people on Team McMahon, they always get at least 2 Rumble wins. And Roman's overdue for his. So I'm thinking that Roman is getting the W in this one. I think Roman beats Corbin, but this feud will continue on because of the dog food and everything else. And maybe eventually they do have a dog collar match or something on SmackDown, but I think they're going to save that match for another time. Should be a fun TLC match. I want to see what Corbin can do in this. A lot of people are very upset with my prediction. I call it how it is, boys. I'm just telling you, if the money's on the line, I'm taking Roman Reigns for the win of the Royal Rumble. And for what I think will be the main event of this show, you have a TLC match for the WWE Women's Tag Team titles. This is the perfect spot to make it feel important. And one of these women, or actually 3 of these women, main evented last year in this spot. TLC match for the Women's Tag Team titles. You have Charlotte and her tag partner, the Raw Women's Champion, Becky Lynch, versus the Tag Team Champions, the Kabuki Warriors, Asuka and Kairi Sane. I think this match could be insane if you let these women go all out and do what they need to do. Charlotte, we've seen her in these types of matches before. She does pretty well. I think Becky can as well. And with a tag partner in there, less for her to do, I think it'll be better. Call me crazy, I think this will be better. And I want to see Kairi Sane really shine in this match. Like, I want to see her do elbow drops through tables, off of ladders. We know that this chick is crazy. We've seen her work in other places. She is absolutely tremendous. Let her be her. Let her be free in this match and give them some creative freedom. And Asuka. Asuka should be she should be in a better spot than this. But if she's going to be in this tag team match, Asuka is the one woman who has a victory over Becky Lynch. And I think at the Royal Rumble, this has to lead to Asuka getting a one-on-one match with the Raw Women's Champion. Could I see Charlotte and Becky winning? Absolutely. Charlotte and Becky as the Raw Women's Tag Champs, another notch in their belt. Why not do something like that, right? On behalf of the 4 Horsewomen. But, if it's up to me, and this is my prediction for it, I say you give the victory to Asuka and Kairi Sane. Because these two have really worked hard. I feel like you want to have value behind these women tag titles. You have to let them retain. I also think after this, you have to build Asuka up going into the Royal Rumble to start saying, like, Becky, remember, you've never beaten me, and I tapped you out last year. I'm going to tap you out again this year, and I'm taking your Raw Women's title. I'm going to end your big, glorious reign. That's how you set it up. Obviously, I think if they get to the Rumble, we'll have to talk about the results when it's time, if that match happens. But I think there's only one person who could defeat Becky Lynch for that title, and they're not around right now. Ronda Rousey. Asuka and Kairi Sane need the win here. Let these ladies go out and do their thing, and can we please get behind them? Hopefully the fans do as well for this match. But that's all we know for WWE TLC. Not the greatest of cards. Let's see what we have going on in the live chat right now. Sean said the Revival, if the Revival wins the belt, it's all because WWE is afraid they're going to leave. So they're going to try and show them some loyalty. But as soon as they sign, they're going back to Jobville. Why even test Primo? He's not even being used. Primo is supposedly working over in Puerto Rico for his father's company over there, WWC. I don't know. I don't know why Primo got tested. I guess technically still an employee if he's on the payroll. Beats me. Sean Harrington, Roman wins or some public stunt like the boxer Fury wins. Either way, fans aren't going to be happy. I have Roman Reigns winning the Rumble too. I'm cool with Roman winning the Rumble. If not, KO, McIntyre, Almas, or Bryan. Raw side, you got a lot to play with as far as the Royal Rumble goes. I would love to see Drew in that spot, I think. Almas should be ready by SummerSlam if they could keep building him up correctly. And KO, you can put the belt on anytime you need to. Let's see here. Black Lotus were hardcore. Black Lotus were tremendous in Lucha Underground, if you guys haven't seen it. The Kabuki Warriors retain. And then he put I hope. I hate saying, Chris. Can Asuka finally get the title, man? Hopefully, Derek. I would like to see her with that. Rude and Primo suspension was confirmed, Rob said. And Charlotte will become a Grand Slam champion. Good point, Sean. Maybe they want to put that accolade on her, too. Derek is not a Roman Reigns fan. To be honest, though, here's my problem. What has Roman Reigns done to deserve hate? He has not been winning matches. He has not been the focal point of anything. The moment he gets something back again, like he's put on good matches, I think. I'm cool with Roman. Sean said, I know they were, but Primo hasn't even been used in like 3 years. Rob said epic. Have Keith Lee win the Rumble. Hey, I wouldn't be mad at that. Keith Lee versus Brock Lesnar. Take my money. Take my money. AJ versus Orton versus Mysterio should have been added as a ladder match. That'd be a weird ladder match. That'd be interesting, though, if they did something like that. That could be fun. I would not mind seeing those three work a program together. I like that Ray's getting like this last hurrah run. He definitely deserves it. I just don't think he's the face, Derek says. I do, man. I really think he's a good guy. Look at how Roman answered media questions compared to Seth. Seth buried Moxley or Ambrose when he left. Roman handled it with a nice response and said, that's still my boy no matter what, but we got to worry about things here in the WWE. That's the proper way to answer that question. Rollins trying to bury him and sound like the company guy, very stupid. I don't know. I didn't like that. It made Seth come off as douchey. But I would be interested to see what you guys fall into. Now, know that with all these previews that have been done, I will be doing reviews of the shows. Some point after they've went up, as long as everything is fine, the intern is down, not screaming. Hopefully that can all work out. So Friday, we got Ring of Honor. Saturday, we're going to have NWA Into the Fire. That review may not be that long, but I'm going to try and put something up for you guys. And we have TLC happening on Sunday. Lots happening, man. Lots happening in the world of pro wrestling. And I hope that you guys will be back to join me and give your thoughts on everything that's going on in the world of pro wrestling. And guys, I want to thank you for joining me here once again on YouTube for the live stream. Like I said, I am trying to get that watch time up. So if you guys haven't went through, go back and watch some old episodes of Everything Pro Wrestling. I'm sure you'll laugh at some of the botches. I was freaking so awkward sometimes in the beginning using Google Hangouts and recording with people live. But go back in the archives, watch some of the old ones. I got everything set up in one big playlist. Hopefully one day I can eventually separate that when I get some different video topics up. But it seems like you guys are loving the live podcasts for the recordings, and I'm happy you guys are enjoying that. And happy birthday to Derek. He's talking about he's going nuts. It's his birthday weekend. Be live and be ready. Yes, sir. And Derek will probably be on the TLC review, and he might be on the Ring of Honor one too. So Chris wrote hashtag watched it all. Thank you, Chris. I borrowed that from Deluxe Man for the record. I appreciate that. Make sure you guys leave comments too. Comments in the videos help more people see it. It pops up on, hey, you may like this video. So that's what we need to do as a brand. I'm not asking you guys for any money. If you want to donate money to the podcast or whatever, thank you. I appreciate that. I would rather have you guys buy a t-shirt. Show love with a like. Help me get some support. Get all your friends who like pro wrestling to come in and talk everything pro wrestling with us. So that way we can get some sponsorships, we can earn money other ways, and we can have fun while doing it. So we'll be around this weekend. Make sure you check out all the reviews for the upcoming shows coming up. Me and Rob also have a podcast that we're doing. Make sure that you guys vote. We have a big vote coming up as far as, let me see if I can pull this up so that you guys can get the link for it. For the EPW End of Year Awards, we really try to get as many people to vote on this that we can. Hold on, we're going to have to pull it up on Facebook so I can grab that link really quick for you guys. We are voting for 10 different categories. It'll probably take you 2 to 3 minutes if you guys want to vote really quick. That is something that I would greatly appreciate. I will put the link in the live chat, and yeah, go in there, vote. Tell me who you thought. It doesn't matter what promotion. If you don't like what I have put up there for a possible answer for you, go in and put in your own. Write your own answer. If you thought maybe someone from your local indie scene was the wrestler of the year, put them down.